My child, don't look away. Not now, not when the veil is so thin. Today is not like any other day. Today, the fire in heaven trembled. And I, Archangel Michael, was commanded by the Most High to come to you urgently. There is a truth unraveling in the shadows around you, one wrapped in silk but soaked in sorrow. The one you love, yes, that very soul you've defended, cried over, clung to through storms and silence. They carry a secret not yet spoken, but already moving in the unseen. Keep listening. You were guided here for a reason. The timing is divine. Don't skip this. You're meant to hear every word. God watches all timelines at once. He sees what you cannot. He hears the thoughts whispered behind closed doors, and the intentions stitched beneath kind words. My child, you have felt it, haven't you? The unease, the flicker, the moment their smile didn't quite reach their soul, the moment your spirit said, something is not right. You are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are awakening. A shaking is coming, not to destroy you, but to free you from the invisible chain that has held you hostage to a version of love that harms. God is not sending this message to shame, but to awaken you to truth. Keep reading, even as your heart resists, even as fear curls in your belly, because what you are about to see with spiritual eyes will explain every ache you could not name. They love you, yes, but not in the way your soul was designed to be loved. Their love was born of wounds, and you became their healing ground. But now, your soil is tired. You've watered deserts hoping they'd bloom, but not all deserts were meant to bear roses. Listen to me, child. I speak with the breath of the Almighty behind every word. You are standing at a holy crossroads. One path leads to continued illusion. The other, revelation, healing, and painful liberation. Whispers are already reaching them. They sense a shift. They fear what you might discover. But fear not what they hide. Fear the cost of remaining blind. You are not alone. The armies of heaven surround you. I, Michael, stand guard with my sword drawn. For no darkness shall prevail when the child of God begins to wake. This truth may shake your heart, but your spirit will rise stronger. You were made to love, but not to bleed endlessly for those who do not see your light. So breathe. Stay here. Don't look away. More is coming. And the next part, what I must reveal next, it will open the sky above your pain and call you into sacred clarity. You're still here. Good. That means your soul is stronger than the illusion. That means heaven's whisper has reached the chambers of your spirit. The truth is not here to destroy what you love. It's here to free what you've mistaken for love. My child, there is something you must understand now, before it's too late. You've been protecting someone from consequences that were never yours to absorb. You've been covering their storms with your sunshine. You've been hiding their thorns beneath your flowers. But heaven sees. You've been sacrificing peace to preserve connection, wearing smiles while your soul cries in secret. God has counted every silent tear. And now he says, no more. This is the hour of uncovering. The one you love has woven shadows into their presence, not out of malice, but from their own pain. Yet pain does not excuse betrayal, nor does suffering permit silence. You've sensed it, haven't you? The unfinished sentence, the sudden distance, the coldness behind the touch. That strange pull in your spirit that keeps whispering, something is being hidden from me. And it is. There is a truth quietly pacing behind the walls of their soul. And soon, it will break through. Before they confess it, before they spin it, before they twist it with tears and trembling lips, I am telling you now, brace yourself. Don't run from this. Stay with me. The one you love has not been honest about the depth of their heart. There's another presence, another energy, another pull. It may not yet be physical, but it has taken root in their mind. They have wandered, not just with desire, but with intention. And what they hide, they justify. But God knows the true weight of every motive. You are not being paranoid. You are not being overdramatic. You are spiritually gifted, intuitively awake. And now it is time to honor what your inner knowing has been screaming through the silence. But hear me now. This is not about punishment. This is about positioning. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being protected by being shown this now. If I had waited longer, you would have poured more of your sacred soul into a vessel already leaking. You would have bent until you broke. You would have kept hoping while your spirit decayed in confusion. So this is your rescue. This is your sword of light. This is heaven declaring, you will not stay lost in someone else's lie. Take a deep breath now. Don't lash out. Don't accuse. Don't chase the confession. Stand in stillness. Let the truth reveal itself. It is already unraveling. What is hidden in darkness cannot survive when God speaks light. And I am the Archangel who brings that light forth. You will not be blindsided. You will not be shamed. You will not be alone. My child, you are doing well. Even now, with the weight of revelation pressing against your chest, you are still standing, still listening. That is strength heaven honors. You must know, not all storms come to destroy. Some come to reveal the cracks in the foundation, cracks you could no longer ignore. The person you love, they wear a mask so well. But when you look into their eye-strewy look, you've seen it. A flicker of emptiness. A look that doesn't match the words they speak. A silence after "I love you" that echoes louder than thunder. You weren't imagining that. No, child, you never were. You've been carrying both your pain and theirs. You've tried to be healer, protector, redeemer, but those roles were never yours to bear alone. That burden belongs to God. And today, He is lifting it from you. Stay here. Don't scroll away. The truth is still unfolding. And it is time you understood why this revelation matters now. The energy around them has shifted. Their spirit is divided. They want you, but they also want what feeds their ego, their fantasy, their escape. And now, the spirit says, a crossroads approaches. They will be forced to choose. And so will you. You must not let fear guide your decision. You must not let their temporary remorse chain you to a cycle of wounding. Because here is the truth you may not want to hear. They are not your assignment. They are your lesson. And the lesson is almost complete. Listen closely. I, Michael, speak with the flame of divine truth. You cannot heal someone who refuses to meet you in the light. You cannot keep bleeding to prove you're worthy of love. Love is not earned through suffering. Love does not disguise itself in manipulation or omission. They know what they're doing, and yet they tell themselves it's harmless. But their soul is stirring now because heaven is watching. And God is giving you a chance to choose yourself again, to break the soul contract that kept you tethered in silence, to walk into a version of love that doesn't cost you your peace. Will it hurt? Yes, but not forever. And not like staying would. My child, you were never created to be a placeholder. You were never meant to dim your light so another could hide in your glow. You are sacred. You are chosen. And the longer you cling to what is cracking, the longer you delay the blessing that is meant to replace it. So, hear me. This is your awakening. This is your divine interruption. This is the holy unraveling of what you were never meant to settle for. There is more to come. More you must see. More you must feel to finally be free. You're still here. And that tells me you are ready for the fire of truth to cleanse what illusion could not hold together. My child, listen now with your soul. Let every word move through you like a current of divine electricity. This is not just information, this is intervention. And you are not just a reader, you are the chosen recipient of this moment. I must speak plainly now. The one you love, they have known their truth longer than they admit. They have rehearsed their answers. They have delayed the moment of revelation. But heaven has removed the protection around their deception. Now the cracks are visible, and soon so will the truth be. Do not go looking for proof. Do not chase the evidence. Do not beg for the confession. Instead, be still, because the truth is walking toward you now, and it is carrying justice in its hands. The lies, the half-truths, the subtle betrayals, they have all created spiritual debts, and those debts must now be repaid. But don't confuse this justice with vengeance. God is not cruel. He does not break hearts for amusement. He exposes lies to deliver the captive. And my child, you have been a captive to a story that was never fully written in love. You gave them everything: your time, your grace, your second chances, your silent forgiveness. And still, they withheld their full truth. Not because you weren't enough, but because they were afraid of what your clarity would do to their comfort. They are afraid of your awakening. Because once you awaken, you will no longer tolerate breadcrumbs. You will no longer soften yourself to fit their small idea of love. You will no longer sacrifice your peace for their potential. You must understand this now. The longer you wait for their apology, the longer your heart delays its healing. You do not need closure from the one who fractured you. You need permission from yourself to walk away. And I give you that now. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with divine love so deep it breaks the chains of emotional slavery. Yes, slavery. Because love, when it keeps you bound in confusion, when it costs your voice, your identity, your soul's quiet, that is not love. That is bondage wearing the mask of devotion. But I am here to unmask it, to tear the veil, to pull you from the waters before you drown, trying to save someone who was never willing to swim beside you. You are worthy of a love that chooses you without hesitation, that honors your truth with reverence, that doesn't use your forgiveness as a hiding place for their shadows. The person you love, they may change, but not today, not yet. Their soul still resists the fire required for transformation. And you, child of the divine, you are being called out of the waiting room of their becoming. You are being summoned into your own rising. They will feel the shift. They will sense the withdrawal. And they will come with words, with tears, with desperation. But don't confuse regret with repentance. Watch. Pray. Do not move until heaven says so. My child, take a breath. Let it fill the deepest corners of your being. Because what comes next will stir your soul in ways you didn't expect. But you must hear it. Don't look away. This is the moment your clarity becomes your crown. The one you love. They are not who they pretended to be in your presence. They were one person with you, and another when your spirit turned its face. This duality, it has been growing. I do not bring you this truth to harden your heart. I bring it because your heart deserves to beat in truth. You have loved deeply, completely, without condition. And yet they have traded your trust for comfort. They have sacrificed honesty for control. They have hidden behind half-promises and disguised apologies. But you have outgrown the illusion. You no longer fit inside the small version of love they offered. Your soul has become too vast. Your light too blinding to remain hidden in someone else's shadow. Now listen carefully. This next part will feel like prophecy, because it is. There is someone else. Not necessarily in body, but in thought, in energy, in connection. Another soul has pulled at them, flattered them, fed the part of them that hungers for validation. They allowed it. And worse, they enjoyed it. They knew what it would do to you, and yet they danced with temptation. This is not about blame. This is not about rage. This is about truth. The truth that God will no longer allow to be hidden from you, because you are the daughter of divine fire. You are the son of sacred light, and you were never meant to be lied to in the name of love. They will deny. They will twist. They will weep. But listen to their energy, not their words. The soul never lies, even when the mouth does. There are signs. You've seen them. The sudden protectiveness of their phone, the changed rhythms in their affection, the disconnection during moments that once felt holy. Those were not accidents. Those were messages. You just weren't ready to interpret them. Until now, the veil is lifted. You are now standing in a sacred corridor. One door behind you, still warm with memory, and another ahead, cold with uncertainty but drenched in destiny. You must choose. Not them, not their healing. You choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose to believe that God does not take something from your hands, unless He intends to fill them with something greater. But be warned, the test is not over. Now comes the moment where they return with sweetness, with the version of themselves you fell for. This is the counterfeit healing. Do not accept it. God does not need to recycle the person who hurt you to bless you with the love you deserve. So hold still, beloved. Anchor in this knowing. You are not being left behind. You are being set apart. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. There is a powerful realignment coming. A divine detour that will pull you out of confusion and place your feet on the road of sacred purpose. But I must guide you into that in the next part. You're close now. Closer than you've ever been to your own breakthrough. My beloved child, you've made it this far. And that alone has sent ripples through the heavens. Do you feel it? The pressure in your chest, the trembling in your spirit. That is the breaking of a soul chain you never consented to carry. Stay with me now. You are walking barefoot through sacred ground. The next words you hear are not meant to comfort you. They are meant to free you. They will try to return. Yes, the one who distorted love with silence. The one who rewrote truth in their favor. They will feel the shift in your soul, the withdrawal of your energy, the clarity in your gaze, and it will terrify them. But child, listen closely. Their return is not always a sign of change. It is often a test. Heaven will allow them to knock, to say the right things, to weep with sincerity, to promise transformation. But God sees what they will become when the moment fades. God knows whether their sorrow is rooted in love or in losing control. You are not to be lured by their regrets. For what is regret without repentance? What is apology without accountability? What is affection without alignment? They may tell you they were confused. They may say they never meant to hurt you, and parts of it may even be true. But your healing cannot be built on their confusion. Now is the time to remember this. Your soul contract with them may be ending. And endings, my child, are not punishments. They are portals. You've outgrown the version of yourself that tolerated dishonesty as devotion. You are being called into your divine self. And that version of you, that version will never again settle for someone who only loves when it's convenient. You may feel lonely, but listen carefully. Loneliness is often the sacred silence before alignment arrives. Don't rush back to what hurt you just to feel less alone. Because what's coming, oh child, what's coming is unlike anything you've known. But first, you must clear the altar. You must burn the idols of old love, the fantasies, the versions of them you built in your mind. Those visions are not your destiny. They are echoes of your longing, not instructions from heaven. Release them now. Say this with me, even if your voice trembles. I release what no longer aligns with my truth. I surrender what was never mine to hold. I trust the path God lays before me, even when it hurts, even when I don't understand, even when the silence feels unbearable. That is your sword now. That is your shield. You are not being asked to harden. You are being invited to rise, not as the version of you that clung, but as the version that commands alignment. Heaven is preparing a new encounter, but it will not arrive while your hands are still gripping fragments of the past. So in this moment, let go. Yes, the grief will come. Let it. Yes, the tears will fall. Welcome them. Because grief, when held in the arms of God, becomes transformation. The next part I speak will carry instructions, heaven steps to guide you into the divine recalibration of your life. My beloved, the heavens are silent now, not in absence, but in reverence. Even the angels hold their breath as you walk through this sacred reckoning. This is the moment you stop surviving and begin reclaiming. Are you ready? Because this next part is not for the mind. It is for your soul. Let me give you the first divine instruction. Stop explaining your pain to those who caused it. They heard you. They saw you. They knew what they were doing. And still, they chose silence. Still, they chose shadow. Now, your job is not to educate them in empathy. Your job is to heal, to rise, to remember that closure was never a gift someone could give you. It is something you awaken inside. Don't skip this. These next words are the turning point. Instruction 2. Cleanse your environment. I'm not just speaking of rooms or objects. I'm speaking of frequencies. There are echoes of their presence still attached to your sacred space. Clothes, letters, photos, places where their energy lingers. It's time to purge what holds you in emotional limbo. This is not revenge. This is resurrection. When you let go of their residue, you create space for your resurrection. Your home must reflect your healing. Your phone, your words, your routine. Let it all become a mirror of your rebirth. And now, instruction 3. Speak to yourself the way heaven speaks to you. No more shame. No more asking, "What did I do wrong?" My child, you were never the problem. You were the light that exposed the darkness. You were the mirror that made their shadow flinch. You were the answer to their prayer they didn't know how to receive. You loved purely. That is not weakness. That is divinity. Repeat after me in your spirit. I am not too much. I am not too sensitive. I am not unworthy. I am the echo of God's voice in human form, and I will no longer be quiet to make others comfortable. The enemy has always feared your awakening, because once you remember who you are, truly remember, nothing will have power over you again. And that brings us to the final instruction for today. Stand in sacred stillness. Do not chase. Do not beg. Do not respond to the bait. Let them wonder. Let them feel the weight of your absence. In that stillness, heaven will move. The doors that must close will slam shut, and the doors that are meant for you will creak open, slowly at first, but they will not close again. I, Archangel Michael, remain with you, sword drawn, wings extended, protecting this moment of realignment. The one you love may feel far away now, but your true love divine whole without confusion is being carved in the unseen. They will not come until you have fully released what was. So don't rush. Let it fall. Let it burn. Let it become ash. For out of the ash, your sacred new beginning is already rising. You've come so far, my beloved, and yet the journey inward is just beginning. Don't stop now. Don't close your heart just because it aches. Even pain can be holy when it's handled by heaven. Now listen closely, for this is sacred. There is a version of you that has been waiting in silence, a version you abandoned while loving them, a version that watched from the shadows as you gave, poured, bent, broke, just to keep something alive that was already spiritually fading. But today, that version of you steps forward. Not the wounded one, not the over-explainer, not the one who prayed they'd finally see your worth, but the divine one, the royal one, the resurrected one. Child, I must tell you something difficult. And yet, once spoken, it will liberate every corner of your soul. You were never meant to be their healer. You were sent as a reflection. But they refused to look. They covered their eyes and blamed you for the darkness they refused to face. You thought if you just loved a little harder, gave a little more, held on a little longer, they would change. But transformation does not come by force. It comes by surrender. and they have not surrendered. Not to truth, not to God, not to love in its purest form. So now you must do what feels impossible. You must let go of the outcome. Not because you don't care, but because you finally care about yourself. You've been living in emotional debt, paying off wounds that weren't yours, sacrificing peace in exchange for potential. But no more. Now is the hour of spiritual boundaries. Now is the time to say, I will not be the glue holding together what God is breaking apart. The weight you carry is not love. It is fear. Fear of what happens if you walk away. Fear of who you'll be without them. Fear that maybe this pain is all you're meant to know. But that is the lie. And I have come to break it. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to settle. You are not here to be the emotional landfill for someone else's buried trauma. You are here to shine, to rise, to speak, to love in full power. And that starts now by choosing yourself even when it hurts. Now, hear me with your soul. The days ahead may feel quiet. You'll feel the echo of them. Their name may stir in your spirit. Memories may come like waves. But don't mistake that for a sign to return. That's not God calling you back. That's your nervous system detoxing. Stay strong. Stay grounded. Every time you resist the urge to go backward, you are stepping deeper into divine alignment. And child, there is someone new. Yes, but not just anyone. Someone crafted in the stillness of your healing. Someone who sees without needing to be convinced. Someone whose love won't feel like a war. But first, you must become the person that version of love requires. That means completing this separation. Energetically, emotionally, spiritually. It won't happen all at once, but it begins today. In the next part, I will guide you into the promise, the destiny that awaits beyond this ache, the joy that doesn't come and go with another's mood, the purpose that has waited in the wilderness of your soul. You're still with me, and that means the veil is lifting. This is holy ground now. Each breath you take is no longer wrapped in illusion. It is soaked in clarity. Sacred, blazing, irreversible clarity. My child, heaven honors the courage it takes to grieve someone still alive, to mourn a version of love that was never quite whole, to release what your soul once clung to as if it were oxygen. But I must remind you again, you are not losing them. You are finding you. And that version of you, the one being unearthed now, they are not small. They are not broken. They are the echo of my own image awakening through fire. Let me show you now what comes next. Because you are not just healing, you are crossing over. There is a season ahead, a divine appointment set in time, where restoration will replace regret, where your laughter will return, not as performance, but as truth. You will walk into rooms without shrinking. You will speak your truth without trembling. You will look into the mirror and no longer see the one they couldn't love properly. You'll see the one heaven never stopped choosing. Now listen, for this is prophecy. A door is closing in the spirit. Even as you read these words, angels are sealing it shut. What was will not return. Not in the same form. Not with the same hold. And what's ahead? Prepare your spirit, child, because alignment is approaching like thunder, but not loud and destructive. Rather, steady, sacred, undeniable. A new connection, a new rhythm, a new assignment. Yes, I said assignment. Because the pain you endured, it has not been wasted. You will teach others how to recognize misalignment. You will speak truth soaked in fire and compassion. You will carry wisdom only earned through surviving the false and stepping into the real. But first, you must finish this part. Do not rush ahead. Healing has layers, and you must sit with this final instruction for now. Forgive without returning. Forgive, not to let them off the hook, but to unhook your soul from their chaos Forgive, not to invite them back, but to cut the final tether that still pulls you toward their storm. Say this now, even if it burns. I release you. I forgive you, but I do not return to you. Forgiveness does not mean access. Forgiveness means freedom. And freedom, my child, is where your destiny begins. Breathe, my beloved. Let this breath mark the turning of the tide. Let it be the exhale of who you were and the quiet inhale of who you are becoming. You have walked through fire, and you did not burn. You bent, yes, so many times you thought you might break. But you are still here, reading, listening, waking. That, alone, is a miracle. Now, you must prepare. Because when God delivers the blessing, it does not arrive in confusion. It comes with weight, with purity, with purpose. And you must be able to hold it. This part, child, is about readiness. What's coming next cannot be carried by the version of you who waited for breadcrumbs. It requires a version of you who no longer asks for permission to be whole. So, let's begin. Step 1. Clean the inner altar. You've already removed their energy from your space. Now remove it from your soul. Release the need for explanation. Release the imagined conversation. Release the hope that they'll suddenly become who you needed. They won't. Not now. And that is mercy. Because if they had stayed, you would have missed the sacred alignment meant for you. Step 2. Establish spiritual boundaries. Stop letting people touch what is sacred in you without reverence. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Your peace is not a reward for someone else's inconsistency. It is your birthright. Begin to ask this with every connection. Does this honor the God in me? If the answer is no, you already have your answer. Step 3. Prepare your soul to receive. Heaven is not late. What you are waiting for is not being delayed out of cruelty, but out of preparation. A soul-designed love, a divine assignment, a peace that doesn't rise and fall with someone else's behavior. It is coming. But you must make room. Let go of survival patterns. Let go of scarcity. Let go of proving, fixing, shrinking. You are not here to convince someone to stay. You are here to remember that even alone, you are whole. And now, let me speak what you have longed to hear. The one meant for you will not bring confusion. They will not require your silence to feel powerful. They will not weaponize your softness. They will hold your name like prayer. They will mirror your soul's beauty, and you will not have to question their presence. You will feel it as naturally as your next breath, but they cannot come until you stop watering the dead. So bury it, child, not out of bitterness, but because the season has changed. The rain has stopped. The soil is dry. That chapter cannot grow anymore. I know it hurts. I know part of you still checks the door, but heaven has something better, and you cannot carry both. So today, prepare. Dress your spirit in expectancy. Begin to live like the one you prayed for is already on their way. Clean your mind. Reclaim your mornings. Speak with power. Walk with purpose. This is not about pretending. This is about aligning. Because when they arrive, this one forged for you, they won't meet the version of you who wept at someone else's silence. They'll meet the one who rose from the ashes, unrecognizable even to her past. My precious child. Close your eyes. Not to sleep, but to see. There are things moving now in the unseen. Shifts so profound that even the stars are aligning with the rhythm of your healing. Don't stop now. Don't turn back. You've mourned what was. You've released the grip of illusion, and now heaven responds. Behind the veil, something is forming. A divine rearrangement. A spiritual blueprint being redrawn with you at the center. Yes, you. Not the version who begged to be chosen. Not the one who accepted silence in place of truth. But the version who stood in the wreckage and said, I still believe. That kind of faith. The trembling kind. The quiet kind. It moves mountains you cannot yet see. So let me show you what's happening above and beneath the surface. Heaven is orchestrating alignment. People, opportunities, encounters, not random, not coincidence, but sacred puzzle pieces clicking into place because you had the courage to walk away from what was misaligned. The pain of letting go was the sound of chains breaking, and now you are free. But child, I must prepare you for this. Freedom feels foreign at first. You may feel unsteady. You may even grieve again. That's okay. Don't fear the waves. The ocean of healing will carry you to places numbness never could. You will feel again. You will love again. But not as you did before. This next love, this next season, will meet you in your clarity, not your confusion. It will not ask you to shrink. It will not celebrate your silence. It will not punish your emotions. It will be sacred, because you have become sacred to yourself again. Now, let me whisper what heaven is arranging. A divine encounter, not born of loneliness, but of readiness. A soul who has also done their inner work. Someone who prays, not just performs. Someone who sees, not just looks. Someone who chooses you without hesitation, because they recognize the godlight in you. But more than that, you are being prepared for purpose. The ache you endured? It was not wasted. You are being positioned to lead others out of what once imprisoned you. Your story will become someone else's survival manual. Your voice, once silenced, will become the trumpet of freedom. So do not numb the pain. Feel it fully. Because each tear is watering the field of your becoming. You will rise, but not as a victim, as a vessel. And when you speak, even angels will pause to listen. Child, this is not the end. This is the ascension. But before you step through the next divine door, there is one final truth I must place in your hands in the next part. It is the prophecy of what your soul came here to do. Why this pain was chosen, and what it has prepared you for. My child, let your breath slow. Let your spirit lean in. Because what I'm about to tell you will awaken something ancient in your bones. A memory from before the world named you. Before the pain reshaped you. Before the love you lost made you question who you were. You came here for more than healing. You came here to become. You are not just a soul recovering from heartbreak. You are a soul returning to mission. Yes, mission. The pain you endured was not random. It was a passage, a firewalk, a dismantling of illusions so complete that only truth could remain standing. But now you are being handed the scroll of remembrance. Read carefully. You were sent to earth, not to chase love, but to embody it. Not to beg for truth, but to speak it. Not to fit into broken systems, but to rebuild them. Your heartbreak was not punishment. It was a divine initiation. You have been trained in silence. You have learned to read energy when words failed you. You have heard what wasn't said. You've seen what others refused to look at. That was the Spirit training your discernment. Because where you are going, you will need holy vision. You will lead others through the same darkness you barely survived. You will recognize the signs in them because you've seen them in yourself. This is the birth of your purpose. But listen, this is important. You cannot carry your purpose with hands still clinging to your past. The old identity must die. The version of you who doubted, who dimmed, who settled, must be laid to rest. Not in shame, but in honor. That version of you did their job. They survived. But now, survival is not enough. You are being called to create, to build from the ashes, to walk in full spiritual authority, to know who you are, even when no one claps, even when the world misunderstands. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be remembered. So, child, I ask you this now. Will you answer the call? Will you rise, even without applause? Will you let the pain refine you instead of define you? Because on the other side of this transformation is a life so aligned, so radiant, so true, that even the version of you reading these words now would hardly believe it. You will speak. You will lead. You will love again. But this time with wholeness, not holes. This is your season of redefinition. The world may try to label you by your past, but heaven calls you by your future. You are not what they did to you. You are not who you were in their eyes. You are who God whispered you to be, before your first breath was even drawn. So, let the old fall away. Let the image of yourself shaped by broken love be buried in the soil of this moment. Because in the next part, I will hand you your crown, the final words before you step through the door of full restoration. You've come this far, beloved, and now the sky bends to witness what's about to take place within you. The angels have gathered, not to grieve what you lost, but to celebrate what you've become. Do you feel it? That quiet trembling in your chest? That's your soul remembering. Now listen, don't rush this. Don't skim over what is holy. These are not just words, they are keys, and I place them now, gently, into your hands. The time of hiding is over. The time of explaining, apologizing, shrinking, it ends here. The crown that was crafted for you in the silence, the one built through every tear you cried, every night you stayed when you should have left, every moment you broke and still chose love, that crown is ready. And I, Archangel Michael, with the authority of the Most High, place it now upon your spirit. You are no longer just healing. You are rising. You wear this crown not because you are perfect, but because you refuse to let the fire destroy your faith. You wear it not because you never doubted, but because even in your doubt, you stayed open to grace. And now, a new mantle is falling over your shoulders, the mantle of spiritual authority, of discernment, of leadership, of truth. Not a truth that wounds, but a truth that liberates. You will not speak from ego. You will speak from experience, from survival, from sacred knowing, from the holy clarity that only pain can teach. And here is what you must now accept. Your life is not yours alone. Your story will awaken others. Your scars will glow in the dark places where others still search for hope. Your voice will carry resonance because it was shaped by silence. But first, child, before the fullness of your assignment begins, you must do something courageous. You must bless the pain that shaped you. Say it now, even if your voice trembles. I bless the pain. I bless the one who couldn't love me right. I bless the path that broke me, because it led me back to my own soul. This blessing is not weakness. It is release. It is you saying, I will no longer carry this weight. You are no longer a prisoner of what was. You are a keeper of what is becoming. And what is becoming is breathtaking. Now hear this, for it is heaven's decree. Nothing that left you will compare to what is about to arrive. The love, the peace, the purpose, the divine connection so aligned, it will feel like home in a stranger's presence. It's being prepared, but it needs the true you to receive it, not the version still mourning, not the one still doubting, the version who knows they are royalty. And that version is standing up now. So wear your crown, beloved. Let it settle on your head with glory. Let it remind you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. In the next part, I will walk you into the revelation of what's ahead, the prophecy of love and purpose intertwining, the vision heaven wrote with your name etched in gold. My radiant child, you wear the crown now, not of gold or silver, but of knowing, of surviving what should have crushed you, of walking through fire and coming out with wisdom in your eyes. Heaven sees you. The angels whisper your name in reverence, because very few have walked the valley and chosen to keep their heart open. And now, Because of that choice, I can finally show you what lies ahead. Come closer, not with fear, but with sacred anticipation. You've mourned. You've released. You've remembered who you are. Now it is time to receive. Yes, truly receive. This next season of your life will not require striving. It will not ask you to prove your worth. It will not test your capacity to endure. This will be the season of divine ease. Not because life becomes simple, but because you have become solid. You no longer operate from lack. You no longer chase people to feel valuable. You no longer abandon yourself in the name of keeping peace. You walk now in alignment, and that alignment is magnetic to what heaven has promised. Listen carefully, child. The divine counterpart is on their way. No, not just a partner, a mirror, a witness, a soul who doesn't complete you, but joins you in the overflow. They have walked their own valley. They have cried their own hidden tears. They too were reshaped by loss. And like you, they chose growth instead of bitterness. Your souls have been circling each other in the spirit, even while your minds were healing. And now the roads are converging. When you meet them, it won't feel like fireworks. It will feel like silence. Like, oh, there you are. There will be no chase, no proving, no confusion, just recognition. But for this to arrive, you must continue walking in trust. You must not look back when loneliness knocks. You must not reopen closed doors just because you miss the familiar. The familiar was the cage. The unknown is where the promise lives. So here is what I ask you now. Make space. Not just in your home, in your mind, in your habits, in your heart. Begin to live as if the promise is already at the door. Because, child, it is. And this promise isn't only romantic. It's spiritual. It's your purpose taking root. It's the voice you silence now rising into songs, books, prayers, movements. It's your name being whispered in rooms you haven't entered yet. Because the world is in need of what you carry. But you cannot step into that with chains from yesterday still wrapped around your ankles. So say it with me now. I walk forward with nothing in my hands, but truth, faith, and freedom. I am not afraid. I am no longer who I was. I am who I was always meant to become. Yes, that is your new language, and heaven responds to it. The final part is coming. The conclusion, the confirmation, the sealing of this divine encounter between your soul and its highest path. My beloved child, this is it. The final breath of the old season and the first full inhale of what is yours by divine inheritance. You've come through pain, not as a victim, but as a vessel. You've let go of the illusion. You've chosen truth, even when it burned. And because of that, heaven now pours into you. This is not the end. This is the unveiling. Now listen, because the next words are not mine alone. They are the voice of the Most High, flowing through me into the sacred center of your soul. You are anointed. Yes, you. Not because of perfection, but because of your willingness. Not because you never fell, but because you rose each time, even when it hurt, even when you didn't know who you were without them, even when the silence screamed louder than the lies. Child, that kind of rising echoes in eternity. Now, hear what God speaks over you in this moment. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are, my beloved, the one I formed with intention and fire. And I declare over you now, every delay was protection. Every rejection was redirection. Every heartbreak was the breaking of chains you didn't see. Yes, even that one, the one who took so much of your light. They were never the final chapter, only the page that turned the story. Now, the divine pen writes again, and this time, the ink is gold. You will no longer feel unworthy of deep love. You will no longer second-guess your intuition. You will no longer shrink to keep others comfortable. From this moment forward, you walk in spiritual royalty. Everywhere you go, the atmosphere will shift. Every space you enter, your energy will be felt. Not as intimidation, but as holy remembrance. People will feel safer in your presence, not because you please them, but because your truth liberates them. And yes, your divine counterpart is drawing near. But more importantly, you have drawn near to yourself. And that alignment has unlocked what was waiting behind the veil. Miracles, provision, true belonging. But most of all, peace. Peace that no longer rises and falls with who stays or leaves. Peace that does not depend on their understanding. Peace that is rooted in who you've become. You are not returning to who you were before they hurt you. You are becoming who you were before the world told you to be small. So take this final truth and let it settle deep. I do not chase. I do not beg. I do not shrink. I trust. I align. I receive. Heaven moves with you now. And I, Archangel Michael, will walk before you with sword raised high, cutting through every illusion that dares block your path. This journey you've walked, it has changed the frequency of your soul. You are not just healed, you are reborn. And the life ahead of you, it is drenched in promise, surrounded by protection, ordained with purpose. So rise now, not timidly, not quietly, but as one who knows you have passed through fire and found your wings. Now go, live, love, lead, and never again forget, you are divine. You are chosen. You are free.